Donald Trump has fired his campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski. There is every indication that the Trump campaign is increasingly in disarray. They have just a hair over $1 million available in cash for the campaign, which is about 35 times less than Hillary Clinton has. Not that I'm a big cheerleader of campaigns needing or having millions and millions of dollars, but that is sort of something you need right now. We already know about the claims that the campaign is very unorganized, inconsistent messaging, press representatives that are clueless. They claim they don't speak for the campaign, in spite of the fact that speaking for the campaign is what you do when you are a representative for the campaign to the press. And now Donald Trump has fired Corey Lewandowski, reportedly based on the significant influence from Trump's kids, including Ivanka Trump, who apparently, Lewis, has wanted Lewandowski out as early as that Michelle Fields incident, where Lewandowski was ultimately charged with assaulting her, as we saw on video. This apparently goes back a long way.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to hear that. Didn't really know the kids were involved in any way, shape, or form or had influence over the campaign.
Yes, but they do.
Should they? Probably not. But would you say that up until this point, or up until maybe the assault incident, that this guy knew what he was doing and that he was doing a good job?
I think he's generally considered a pretty competent campaign strategist, and Trump seemed to be saying he'll definitely stand by him. He gave that bizarre press conference from his plane after Lewandowski was charged, and he said, of course Lewandowski isn't going to be fired. Trump stands behind his people. I think at one point he even said something about Corey Lewandowski is like a child to Donald Trump, like one of his kids. I mean, not like a child in terms of maturity. That could mean something else. Paul Manafort now becomes the campaign manager. Here's Corey Lewandowski on CNN saying he has no idea why he was fired. Instead, he went right into a pro-Trump talking point coma.
First, from your perspective, what happened? Why were you fired?
You know, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but what I know is what we've been able to achieve in this election cycle has been historic. You know, we had a candidate who in June of last year announced he was going to run for president with no elective office experience in a field of 16 other people in the race plus him, who's gone on to do something historic, which was get almost 14 million votes and fundamentally change the way people look at politics. And I'm proud to have been a small part of that. And, you know, running as the outsider of this campaign, which he has done, running against the corrupt Washington, D.C. establishment and political correctness has been something I've been proud to be a part of.
Trump must know what he's doing. You can fire somebody and then they immediately go on TV and just recite talking points that are positive about your campaign. Now, let's be clear. Corey Lewandowski should have been fired a while ago. He did plenty of stuff worthy of getting fired, but the getting fired at this time is sort of what is showing the shakeup and the mix-ups that are happening in the campaign. And I saw a Trump surrogate, Scotty something. It's a woman, Scotty. I'm not sure what it's short for. This is a woman campaign surrogate of Trump. She went on CNN and she was asked, isn't this proof that the campaign's in disarray? And she said, no, this is a sign of how well things are going, that Donald Trump is always making the best decisions all the time, even though it's late in the game and some candidates might be afraid to change the campaign manager at this point. Trump is just he has such testicular fortitude in these points, Lewis, if you can imagine what I'm trying to get at, that he doesn't care. He'll make the change whenever if it's the right change, and relatively well-crafted damage control, I'll say.
Yeah, I don't think that firing your campaign manager right before the general election starts ramping up is actually that crazy. I mean, it's a different election. It's a different mentality. You have
in other words,
approach it
the strategy in the primary is a different strategy than in the general.
It is, of course.
If the general campaign starts abortively, as it has for Trump, maybe it's a logical time to change horses midstream.
I can't help but think there's something personal behind this, and there's something we're not being told. But, I mean, am I right? It is a different strategy. It's a different game.
There's no doubt, and it has not started particularly well for Donald Trump, as we've covered for the last 2 weeks. This is very cool. Blue Apron delivers to you recipes with the exactly perfectly portioned, sustainably sourced ingredients on a weekly basis for you to cook at home. It's flexible. You can customize the recipes based on your own preferences. I recently tried Blue Apron, and I made a pizza. I've never made a pizza before. I actually made the entire pizza, cooking the toppings and rolling out the dough and the entire process. And it actually wasn't a disaster because it comes with easy to follow instructions, and you can customize delivery dates, the number of people you're looking to feed, and so much more. Some of the meals available include spicy Korean rice cakes with snow peas and pea shoots, sweet chili ponzu catfish and green beans with coconut ginger rice. I love a good ponzu. And New England style salmon rolls with roasted potatoes and chives. Check out this week's menu and get your first 2 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/Pakman. You will love cooking at home, great home cooked meals. blueapron.com/Pakman.